All right. Good morning, everyone. This is Will Becker, and I'm back with another little excerpt from this book I'm reading. And it's a fantastic little line, and it's by Benjamin Disraeli. All power is a trust, and we are accountable for its exercise. And I really love that because when you're in the right circles, um, whether it's one that you've been invited to or that you have helped to create, um, you have a responsibility. You have a you have a responsibility to that group, as well as you have a responsibility to um, those that report up and down if it's a chain of command kind of a thing. Because sometimes that does happen. All right, so um, as I'm learning about trust from this new book that I'm reading, I'm really getting some insights into myself that are a little painful uh, because they're calling me out on some things, and also um, enlightening because I'm learning so much more about trust and relationships than I understood before. And as you guys know, the whole point of me reading is because I've got to become better as a person. Um, it's something that I am adamant about for myself. That thankfully my mother kicked off inadvertently. Um, well, I don't really think she realized what she was doing long term, but she was trying to help me um, to overcome some struggles that I was having, and so that trust. I mean, I understood trust, but to get a deeper understanding of how we can build trust with other people, and the biggest thing that I'm learning is it's accountability, being personally accountable for it, being accountable to others for results, whether they happened or not. And as I was reading in that book, the magic of thinking big came to mind because there's a quote in here on page it's 284 of my edition. Whoever is under a man's power is under his protection too. And this is this is really huge because it goes back to that accountability. And if you're in a team situation and you're a team lead or a team manager or something along those lines, then really those people under your care should also be under your protection. Um, and it doesn't have to be uh, to your detriment. Of course, if you should own up to something, then hopefully you'll own up to it. If there was a mistake involved on your part too. Um, so I love this because it's one of the things that I learned growing up around the military, but I didn't have the words to put it together, to explain it, or to frame my thoughts because I just didn't have the words. But one of the lessons that I learned, there was a guy who uh, I don't remember how we knew him, if he was in the same unit as my dad or if they were in the same battalion or whatever. Um, but met this guy and he had a ball python and he had a couple boa constrictors. And I I use this example because it was really the point was driven home. So here I am, uh, I made friends with this guy and I'm going to help take care of the snakes because love snakes. I think they're amazing creatures. Um, although I'm at a point in my life where uh, I really don't want anything other living in it other than people's. And I've got a dog and a cat that are here, so we'll take care of them because they're under my power. Um, but here's where I'm going. Okay, is he had served in the first Gulf War in 91, I think in 91, 92. Um, and he was a staff sergeant, if I remember correctly, and he took his lieutenants and captains and they taught the men how to do certain work, and they did it first, and it was the undesirable work. Um, but because he did that, because this man led by example and did the gross work first and taught his soldiers how to do it by example, he had no complaints. Well, I shouldn't say that. He had very little complaints about the work. It was undesirable, but they did it because it was part of their responsibilities while they were in country. And that 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 specific example always sat with me, um because it was the first story that somebody had shared with me where I was old enough to get the point of trust and leadership and the authority. And he was a really good example to me in that regards, because he taught, not only did he teach about snakes and safe handling, but he'd also share some of his stories. And one of the things that I cherish about growing up in the Army is some of those stories that got shared. I have some memorabilia that was brought back that a dear friend gave me. Um, and I'm thankful for that. Uh, it's just a little token of appreciation. Um, and what I want you guys to understand is that, man, if we have a trusted responsibility, if we, um, as this quote says in here, all power is a trust, and we are accountable for its exercise. How are you? How are you exercising that power and that trust in the situation you're in? Are you in a position where you have people that work with you or work below you in some fashion? Excuse me. And are you taking care of them? Are you willingly doing what it takes to teach them, to prepare them for taking your job one day, maybe, even though in your company or where you're working at, that's not really done because of a fear factor. Uh, Honestly, one of the things that I think is important is that willingness to train everyone up on the same material that the leader knows. I had a really good boss, um, and she, you can look at it as she didn't like to do the work, but um, I really looked at it more as she was willing to allow us to learn her job to some degree, and it was a good experience for me. I feel it gave me accountability. It gave me some visibility to upper management because I was responsible. And now, as that contract and things have changed, I do some of those reports on a regular basis for my new boss, but he also has a much bigger team. He has more people that he's working are working underneath him. So again, um, all trust is a power, or all power is a trust. Either way, uh, be mindful of it and take responsibility. And the other thing is, whoever's under man's power is under his protection too, and that goes for women. I don't want to hear any funny stories about it, but just remember that that goes both ways. If you have a trust, if you have a responsibility, own it. And if you're looking for someone that can help you to level up your leadership, to grow and develop because you're looking for a new job, that's what I do at Turning Leaf Solutions. My main focus there is to help people to grow and develop and be open to new opportunities. Because as we do grow and develop, things come along. And I got to tell you, I've got a couple friends who have done well, and I don't say that because I coach them. I say that because they've accepted coaching and mentorship from people who had fruit on the tree, some experience. And when it comes to work, that's definitely something I can help you with. Develop the leadership and people skills to advance or to seek a new position. All my friends, if you get value from this video, please like and share it. Otherwise, hope you guys go out and make it a great day. Hope you guys go out and make it a great August. I will talk to you later.